Good morning, somewhere. This is Dr. JJ in the driver's seat for another edition of our show. Welcome. First timers need not admit to a problem. Just listen, and we'll try to inform and maybe entertain. We're talking to Hunter today. What's on your mind, Hunter?
Hey, Dr. JJ. Lot going on, lot going
Hmm.
on.
Hmm.
Um, I wanted to kind of start in a. Uh, I had a blog I wrote recently and got a lot of feedback on it, and so kind of want to bring that up. But I want to kind of get into to talking about this blog. My blog was about the subject of damn betrayal and
Right.
betrayal uh, um, stuff in my past. Um, but I wanted to deal with get your response to something here.
Okay.
Um, there's a quote that um, uh, hear often in these rooms uh, that says, "Wherever I go, there I am."
I've used it once or twice.
Yeah. Um, I wanted to uh, in that vein
Yes.
run this by you.
Please.
Uh, uh, that is, what about all you know being all you need to know?
Hmm. Okay. All you know being all you need to know. Well,
Does that make any sense?
no,
Yeah, are you?
to some extent. Um, it harkens back to another phrase I use, which is that I am exactly where God wants me to be at this moment.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
good, bad, indifferent, God's got this, even if I don't, and I
yeah,
usually don't.
yeah,
In fact,
yeah,
I often don't. Um, um, so I know as much. God knows what I know, and God is with me in situations uh, where he knows what I know, and I know enough to deal with situations. Um,
let me give you some.
there are implications. There are
Yeah,
implications to the statement that
yeah.
because there's always the opportunity to learn. I know enough to then learn what I need to learn from a situation.
Yeah. Well, let me let me
Message.
let yeah let me give some context
Good,
and
please.
bring this down from the stratospheres, as they say. So a recent I was watching this sports uh, sports center last night, and there's a guy. His name's Richard Bland. He's 48 years old,
Mhm.
and he's leading the U.S. Open. Um, and um, he um, he just won his first tournament ever, like in the past year, and
Uh-huh.
that qualified to be in the U.S. Open. And he, now he's leading the U.S. Open, and and he's 48 years old. He's talked about being a journeyman and had his car pulled, whatever. And it's and he said, like, all I know is golf. What am I gonna do? And he said,
Sure.
you get knocked down 7 times, you get up 8. That's what am I gonna do? Go get a desk job?
Are you crazy or what?
Right, right. He said, like I said, all I know is golf. That's all I
Right.
know.
Right.
So I thought about that, and I was reminded of um, the conversation with my therapist, Dr. Flo,
Mm.
about this blog, um, and um, and we were talking about um, the betrayal I wrote about,
Yeah.
and she was asking about what I was feeling uh, as when this was happening to me, and it's like I told her, I didn't have time to feel anything. I'm trying to survive. One person betrays me. It's like next motherfucker up,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't, I don't have time what else is new,
Right.
all I know is I gotta survive, and I gotta do what I gotta do, that's, and in the moment, that's all I know. That's all I know to do is keep,
No, no, I
is
understand. And in fact,
like,
this is a survival reaction. It is a fight response in a fight or flight situation.
yeah,
And again, Dr. Flo is in fact a professional. I'm simply a consumer of psychotherapeutic services. I'll say an informed consumer. How's that?
right,
But I understand what she's trying to get at is that because we tend to, we people, humans, um, in the moment will tend to block emotional response as we put a laser focus on that which threatens us, as you've described in the betrayal situations. You existentially felt threatened, and so it wasn't about the emotion, it was about the thing, whatever the thing was. Um, Still, I understand why Dr. Flo is going there, because there are emotions. Our limbic system is still working,
yeah,
and there is stuff there that ends up seared into our memory, whether we know it or not.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
that creates a certain aura around those memories, which can be part of what I've termed psychic torment before.
yeah,
So I digress slightly, but there's some context to that one. But please bring me
yeah,
back.
yeah. I wasn't when you just what you said. I'm saying that the existential threat, it wasn't the betrayal. I'm saying I was fighting for my life. Get terms
Yes.
homes and foreclosure. I got to become what my,
Yeah.
I'm dealing with survival,
Yes.
and so like I said, somebody betraying me in this moment. Okay, what else is new? What else is new? Like I said, that
Yeah.
that's that because I just take that in stride. It's I was literally, like I said, I got warrants for my arrest. I got all kinds of shit going on. So
Sure.
I don't have time to
No. No. Not in the.
feel
Well,
I the
no, no,
betrayal.
notice, no, notice you're not on the therapist's couch while you're in that situation, are you?
Yeah, right, right,
No, no,
right.
this is later when you can actually start to tease apart some of these strands. One
Yeah, yeah.
hopes.
So
Okay.
but going back to but
Yeah.
the point my reason for mentioning this is all I know is all I know. So in terms of all I need, I know what I needed to know in that moment
Mm,
to keep my black ass moving.
okay.
I know enough to to keep moving, to get, put one foot in front of the other,
Yeah.
like you said, when when I came back and the sheriffs had forcibly removed my shit. It's all over the lawn. I what
Yeah.
am I do? Pick my shit up, dust my ass off, and keep on moving.
And keep moving.
You're right.
And keep moving.
It's
Yeah.
like, when you go through hell, don't stop.
Well,
Right,
yeah,
right.
I keep that quote on my desk. When you're going through hell, keep
Move.
going. From
Okay,
someone who's been there and done that.
okay.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. That's all I know to do is keep going.
Going. That's right.
That's yeah. That's I'm back to again. Again. I just want to bring it down like
Yeah,
golf would
yeah, yeah.
say.
No, I'm just gonna
It's like all you need to know is all you
well, all you uh, I'm going to suggest a modification here, because all you know is all you know. Meaning, the shoulda, coulda, woulda that I used to do after situations like that is useless. Useless. In the moment, I don't need to be shooting on myself. I just need to be moving. To your point, I just need to keep going. because all I know is all I know. If you had known other things, you may have had additional possible responses, different answers, different solutions. It could have turned out differently, but it didn't because all you knew is all you knew. Just like wherever you go, there you are. To your
Mhm.
point, you
Yeah.
were bringing me back to my point.
Right,
I get it. I get
right,
it. I
right,
get it.
yeah.
So I'm going to say it's not, for me at least. It's not all I know is all I need to know. It's
Yeah.
all I know is all I know.
Right.
Okay,
Exactly. Right. Right.
I gotta simplify it because there may have been things I needed to know I didn't know,
Right. Right.
but I can't do it in the moment. All I know is all I know. And by the way, it's me who's there because I bring me with me,
Yeah.
with
Right.
including all the warts,
Yeah.
all the abilities, all the warts, all the talents, all the sins. Me,
Yeah.
I'm there. Now I got to keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does
I
that
want to.
fit?
Yeah. Yeah. And you made it. You made I don't want to lose or to lose. You made an important um, tweak that makes a distinction that makes the difference. I said, all I know is all I know. Uh, I didn't say all I know is all I need to know.
Right.
Right. Right. That's not what it's. That's that's well actually that but that I said that you clarified it doesn't it's not all I need to know. So that's it because I did say that. I originally said, what about all you know is all you being all you need to know. Uh and
That's why I needed to talk it through a little bit with
right.
you.
So all I know is all I know is like there wherever I go, there I am. All I know, being all I need to know, different. Look, that's got thank got the distinction. Staying here,
Yeah.
and it's uh, uh, so I said I'm fighting for my life. I was fighting for my life. But I was also um I felt like like sounded like I was going through hell. But
Mm.
and you go through don't stop. Um, as I kept getting knocked down and kept getting back up, um, every time I got back up, I felt strengthened to continue to get back up when I get knocked down. You know,
Mhm. Mm.
it be, it's you know literally, I mean, I drew strength from the fact that I could get back up. Having never been having, having, um, you know, I didn't know, I didn't know until then how much I could take.
Right.
There's a sense in which, uh, in life, uh, in many ways, I've been pampered. And so I never knew I could. And so it's like, damn, this shit feels good. I can do this shit.
Right. Right.
I'm like, I didn't know. I'm like, I come back to, I'm like, damn, I'm good.
Right.
I can take this shit,
Yes.
and and
No,
and
no, no,
and,
it's
I'm finding my like finding now I went there because
mhm.
I want to bring that forward. Um, uh, I I and it's connected. I'm finished. So I have to keep going. Felt like go there. I have to keep going. And I have the strength, the 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 wherewithal to do that. I'm finding uh, that command, that capacity, um,
Yes.
um, and it's driving me. I'm literally feeling driven, to keep going.
Yes.
And that this is this is and as I get back up, I'm feeling divinely uh, inspired
Hmm.
as it goes. Um, and I so I got to do this. I got to keep going. Um, I've said this before. In my ears, I'm thinking about people in these rooms again who talk about not having to do this, but getting to do this.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes.
um, and talk
Recognizing the privilege.
in a privilege. Um, but that 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 it doesn't feel. Um, I don't feel privileged. I feel an overwhelming sense of obligation.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
and I'll tell you, you asked it. Um, so my life partner and I, Lucy, were talking yesterday and might need to get some insurance, um, health insurance. And I was going out riding, um, and you know, her last words were to me to be careful.
Hmm.
So I'm coming in the home stretch yesterday and stop at the light and I'm cycling, so I'm in uh, stirrups,
Sure.
and I get to the light, um, and I go to pull my foot out, and it won't eject.
It's stuck. Yeah.
It's stuck. Um, so I tumble over,
Yeah.
um, and I'm fine. Get up, back up, dust off. Nothing.
Nothing
Um,
broken. Nothing.
no, 'cause people are like, "Are you all right?" I'm like,
Sure.
yeah, and in the moment I was reminded. Um, I remember when I was, I must have been like 12 or something, and I was in this parking lot, and I was going around the corner on my bike, uh, and uh, uh, and and this car comes out of nowhere and hits me, you
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
and I hits me. It's like it's part of the so I, I roll up on the windshield, fall off the other side, you
Right.
know, grab
Yeah.
my bike, keep on riding.
Keep on going. Yeah. Yeah. I
you know,
understand.
you know,
No. No. No.
but
No.
I'm not 12 anymore, and so yeah, right,
Good point.
right. But I'm saying that in terms of connection is in moments like that, you know, overcoming, uh, overcoming COVID, other things. When I look back and at that point, what was going on then, you know, God keeps bringing me through for something. I mean, if
Yes.
if so that what I say about it ain't a privilege, it's an obligation. He ain't keeping my black ass around here for nothing, So
Right.
I don't feel privilege. I feel obligation. I got something I got to be doing because this shit is like I said again I just talk but like I said I ain't 12 no more that could have been so
Yes.
I
Well,
don't
that's just it. There's
I don't
we
take that
still need
lightly.
to we still need to bring our knowledge with us to your point
Yeah, yeah,
because we do know we're not 12 anymore,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
yet, as my dear friend who passed recently used to say, she was in her 80s. Sorry. And her comment was, well, I woke up this morning, God must have something for me to do.
yeah.
That was her whole approach. And I attempt to emulate that in my own ways. So it's very simple, but yeah, he got your black ass out of bed and off that pavement, so you
Right,
must be here
right.
for something.
I mean, so like I said, like I said, I don't feel privileged. I feel obligation. That's what
Mm,
I said. To me,
mm,
no, I feel more of a, I'm being kept here. He's keeping me. And
mm.
when I look back, and I go back to again what was going on in my life at that time.
Right.
When I look back over all, um, I was going through hell and it was in doing danger, life or death,
Oh yeah.
and I'm still here, and he still keep, And not just I mean I could recently read about some pastors I know that you know world renowned, have strokes. Know about this one, being carted off to jail at age set. I'm like,
Sure.
and I'm looking at the shit I've done, and
Yeah.
yet, that like I said, I don't feel I don't feel I feel an obligation. I mean, I'm mounting
Okay.
the case of why I feel this sense of an obligation. Now, I just want to kind of share that it yesterday kind of um, uh, uh, you know hit
It's a
home for me.
It sounds like
A
a reminder.
reminder again of just how blessed
Mm, yes.
I am, but but it's not for nothing. I don't take again. When that happens, it reminds me
Yes.
or just it reinforces. I should remind it reinforces for me that I ought I'm supposed to be about something.
You
you know,
you have a mission. Carry on. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, I mean, that's the short form of it. Um, but I consider mission a privilege. The
Mm,
fact that I get to do this after what I've dragged myself and others through is truly a privilege to me. So I, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I come from a generation where the word duty was considered a four-letter word. I have
mm,
to admit.
mm,
So I may have a little reactivity to the notion of obligation, which I need to. I personally, I just need to work through that. Um, for some reason, obligation seems like a burden, when in fact it doesn't have to be. Particularly when I'm under the yoke of another, and it is a light yoke. I know that to be the case. Um, but so I do consider mission that which I am to be about, to be a privilege. The fact that I'm still here and able to um, take on things that I believe I was meant to take on. Um, it doesn't certainly doesn't feel like an obligation to me.
mm,
Now, that doesn't mean it's not.
mm, mm,
The fact
mm,
that it feels a certain way doesn't mean it's not the reality of the situation that I really should be doing this. But so I may have some reactivity to the word, some hesitancy around the word obligation that
mm.
you don't have.
Yeah,
I was just noticing that. That's all.
interesting. Interesting. I'm going to digress here.
Okay.
Uh, I consist of that. It just hit me. Um, uh, uh, when you said that,
Mm,
um, from far field. My life partner Lucy.
yes.
Um, um, came to a realization about something. Um, we're the exact same age,
Yes.
um, uh, and our birthdays are a month apart. Um, but we have some very different values about things
Mm,
um, because of the fact that um, my parents had me. My mother had me when she was 24. Her mother had her when she was 35.
mm,
And
yes.
so she was raised by people in another generation than I was. So and so she has different values because who raised her, we're the exact same age. She's like, I'm
Oh,
like, we didn't why are we,
that's great.
what's different? And like,
Yeah.
wow, because you were raised by somebody in a different generation than I was. And so you have certain values, like, like dish soap or something like that.
Yes.
I just, pour it on. She's like, don't don't waste that. You know, she why you
Right,
you know, but she was
right.
raised by people, in terms of
Oh,
so it's a
I totally relate. My in-laws were 12 and 14 years older than my parents. To your
okay.
point, I
Okay.
I was I was the child of 20-year-olds, and my wife was the child of 32 and 34-year-olds.
Right.
Okay,
That makes it
so it it does make a
it's big, and we're like, what's different? And I didn't realize, wow, you're it really does make a difference in terms of values. I mean, some of your
yes.
values because of who raised you. I mean, what their values were,
Once
and
again, yeah, the setup is different.
the setup.
The setup it really because the world we come into is the world that we know to be normal,
Right.
regardless of how chaotic, regardless of how screwed up, regardless of how good or bad it is. When we're raised in it, that's what we know. So it's got to be normal because that's all we know.
Right.
Okay. And after all, we're normal. At least we think we are
Right. Right. Right.
initially
Right.
until we start interacting with the world. But that's what looks normal to the point where those assumptions get buried so deeply, we don't even notice them until we come up against something like what you're describing.
Yeah, like I said, and we're like, what,
Yeah. Where'd
and
that come from?
where'd it come from? why is this? Why,
Yes.
and then it's like, wow, that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
It was like, they're
Hmm.
really, it's like, okay, it's,
Hmm.
and we
They were depression babies. These are silent generation. This is different.
it's just different. Right,
Right.
right, and so, like I said, we're going back and forth about this and the
Yeah.
other, and why we don't, and we're the same age, but like I said,
Yeah.
it's like,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Wonderful.
we're the exact same age. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
why do you see this so much different, so differently than I do? When
Right.
we're the exact same age, and so like I said, I meant to talk to you about that. It's like, we really have to work through that because that's something that really is different.
It is. And again, it's simple things. It really is. And yet they can be irritating things unless we talk about it,
right,
work it through, and and resolve.
right.
So it can be done. You just
Oh,
got to be aware of
well, like I said, once we, like I said, but we were just trying to figure it out, and then
it.
we
Yeah.
realized what what
The
was the
source of
source
this.
of what was the source?
Yeah.
Right,
It was this.
what's the
It
source?
was the setup.
It was a setup. Like, it was like, again, we had to get into it. Like, why are we like loggerheads about this? And then when
Yeah.
that's it. Actually, it's like, wow. It's like, and I don't know what, we had conversation, so I knew it, but we really hadn't
Right. Gotten to the
applied
heart of
it.
the matter. Yep.
We've talked about but it hadn't applied it to how it impacts things that are going. So I just couldn't. It was a side, but I don't know why. But for something you said made me. I meant to bring that up in the conversation, but
Fair enough.
but I digress. But let me try and pull that back.
Please.
Uh,
Bring us back.
yeah, bring us back. So here's what I would say with it's connected to that, if I can do that. And that
Please.
is, um, I heard somebody say, in the rooms, about being uh, uh, being a character, uh, and not having character.
Okay.
um, and in terms of doing the work, uh, the
Mhm.
work, uh, because of the work, um, they finally had character as opposed to being a character.
Right.
Um,
I
and
think of I think of T.S. Eliot's The Hollow Men.
okay,
Okay. In terms of being a character, you're acting. You have a mask. You're simply acting out, but there's really nothing inside. Okay, that's the hollow men notion that I hear in being a character as opposed to having character. Once again, character can be used in several different senses. These are just two of them, and not the the sense that you and I typically use character. Please continue.
Yeah, I was the way I not being familiar with T.S. Eliot work per se, sorry, at all. But in that regard, no T.S. Eliot, of course. But what I understood them to be saying is, um, I used to be a person uh, of low character,
Mm,
and now I have character, I have values,
mm,
I I stand for something. You know,
mm, mhm,
I can look at myself in the mirror and feel good about myself. Okay,
mhm.
and because I have that's where I that's yeah that's okay
That's
now.
where you took
um
it. Sure.
yeah, that's why I understood it. That's why I understood what you're saying.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I'm thinking to myself, towards what we talk about, I'm talking about no, I'm talking about no, it takes a character to
Right. No, I understand.
it
It's
takes
like, dude, get off your character so your character can be himself.
right.
Right.
I'm like, no, in terms of being character, is a character. You know where I'm going with it.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, and
Totally.
and um, and I that again conversation we with uh, therapist Dr. Flo, uh, it brought us to, we were talking about integrity,
Yes.
um, and I said that um, I'm not high on integrity. I'm more into authenticity and transparency.
Okay.
And because integrity, uh, you know, you know, I don't know who you are until I know your demons. And so we talk about integrity. I'm, going back to Hollow, use, Tess at Hollow. I don't know if that integrity, it's kind of like, I hear, so show me, I want to see, and I want to see actions behind words,
Sure. Of course.
and give me, show me I want to see authenticity and transparency, and then I can kind of move towards that there's some integrity,
Okay.
but again we were back, but this idea of I'm connected to it, the thing about character, you're claiming, I've been betrayed too many times by people that, quote unquote, uh, of high moral standing, and great integrity,
Mhm.
and stab me in the back. So I'm not, I want to
Sure.
see some, that
You want to see the authenticity.
I want,
Well, there's integrity, and then there's play acting. Let's face it. Okay. It looks like integrity when in fact it what amounts to fool's gold. I mean, integrity is a gold standard, but you can have something that looks like it that really isn't.
how do I know? How do
Ah, that's where the authenticity comes in.
right,
That's where the actions consistent with the words tells you that someone does have integrity. But
right. That's
you've got to see it in action. You got to see
right.
it in action to
Right.
believe it.
Because we got there. We were talking about betrayal, and Dr. Flo gave, she looked up, she wanted to get, in terms of my blog,
Hmm.
and so one of the things was the acting in a manner that's absent of integrity was was
Hmm.
was 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 what how we got to that subject, and so it's consistent with what you're saying. So like I said, yeah, I'm looking for authenticity, and like I said, and transparency. And again, I said I don't know who, I don't, uh not only in terms of about is there real integrity here, um, but I have a better sense of it when I know what your demons are.
Yes,
When you show me
definitely.
what they are, and again, and
Yes.
because part of the thing is, I don't mind. I got mine too. That's what I don't
Well,
mind.
that's just it.
I would know if they can get along. I don't. I ain't mad at you. I just want to know can our demons coexist? But you hiding them from me. That'll
No,
until
that's that's what shows me you don't have
to
integrity.
take it right.
Right.
But I
Because you're not willing to be transparent.
right, exactly, because exactly. So and you hide it from me, and then I don't know until they show up, and it's too late.
Right.
Right,
For both of us.
for both of us, right? So,
Hmm.
right,
Yep.
so I'm trying to, that's what I've learned from in terms of dealing with betrayal is, show me them demons, and I'll then I'll understand whether who and what I'm dealing with, and what kind of chance I got.
Right.
Have I got a shot or not? You know, 'cause
And oh, by the way, is it a clean shot?
it's a clean shot, right?
I I heard Father Esteban in there somewhere.
Right.
Thank you, Hunter.
So yeah, so that but this um, again, we're going around here, but connect it back to about it takes the character, this idea of, and I'm glad I was familiar with the quote, but I really like that quote. The T.S. Eliot quote about the hollow men. Um,
It is a lengthy poem, just for
there's something
reference.
that rings hollow
Mm,
about this claiming of this newfound character, you
mm,
know, and particularly as it is in excising these demons. So now I have this character, like they gone somewhere, like they like they still hanging around, and now
mhm.
not, like I said, you in here copping to this shit in here, but us go out there to
Yeah.
see what's
Well, let's see you sitting in the parking lot doing push-ups.
yeah, exactly. See how much character you got.
Yeah.
Where's the character there? So this thing about character,
Mm,
um, is it is and that's where I was. It just it that and probably pizza, that that gets us into. I'm just saying. It's often said through is the way out.
right.
Uh, but I would I would add through isn't just the way out. Through is the gift.
Mm, mhm.
Through is not just a way out. Through is
Right.
through actually is gifting. And that gifting of which I connect to this the character, our characters, uh, and not uh, on the contrary of seeing it as a character defect, but
Mm,
as we discussed, flipped, and uh, a divine gift.
right.
That's
Through
so
through is a gift. Well, and that goes back to my notion of mission as a privilege,
okay.
as I see it. Once again, it is something that I get the opportunity to take on as a result of through, as a result of going through and being equipped by going through and having the gifts of having gone through. I now have an opportunity to share the gifts.
Mm. Uh, we probably need to pick this up, JJ.
Oh, oh yes.
But is it interesting?
Mm,
Uh, your so we were talking about privilege
Yes.
and obligation, and you shifted from privilege on me to opportunity. Different.
Notice, notice.
Now, and an opportunity means something else to me. So, which, where,
Ah, we're we're gonna have
which
we're gonna have some more unpacking to do, my friend. But maybe not today.
right.
I was before we leave. I was going to mention we've talked about a couple other characters today. So I want you to elaborate on how the audience can find out more.
Well, thank you, Dr. J. Certainly, audience, listen. We now have Rect America Prime content, and it's subscriber based, and you can find that at rectamerica.com. Again, it's subscriber based, and we hope if you like what we're doing here, you might want to subscribe to some of that content. Also, you can follow In These Rooms blog on at movietheworld.us, and certainly it digs deeper into characters and subjects that come up in the rooms of recovery. Again, that's In These Rooms blog at movietheworld.us, and you have um, at rectamerica.com, you now have the opportunity, word of the hour, opportunity to partake of some we call Rect America Prime content, which is subscriber based. So you find that at rectamerica.com. And then finally, we have our services that we provide to help defray costs, keep lights on, and pay bills. And that's at also at movietheworld.us, and that's under services. So you can find more characters, Dr. Flo, you can find, of course, by Hunter, Dr. JJ, I mentioned Life Partner
Lucy.
Lucy, you got the Professor, you got X, you got Father Esteban. So all these wonderful characters that are part of the world of Rect America are found at rectamerica.com. And we hope you will consider becoming a subscriber to some of the Prime content. Thank you for letting me get that plug in there, Dr. JJ.
Certainly. Well, I will say this, and it's something of a tease for next time. It has been a privilege talking with you, Hunter, and
Yeah.
and I
No,
do look
not.
and I do look forward to the next opportunity. Couldn't couldn't get away without me going there.
Okay,
You know
all
I
right.
do it.
Yeah,
You know I do it.
you know, yeah, I know it.
So, audience, I hope you'll tune in again next time. We'll continue the conversation and hopefully have a little more fun with you too. So, really appreciate your attendance and your interest, and look forward to having a session with you again. With that, Hunter, I think we're done for the day.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you. You take care.